Hey guys, Expert Layman here. We do a little Rocket League today. A little bit of different setup here. But first thing I wanted to do was kind of explain part of why I play the game. And it's that I get to treat it as a psychology lab. How do I put this? I had it written really well in the description. I can find that really quick. You know what? That is going to take longer than I thought. At any rate, most human communication is nonverbal. This isn't like a big surprise. This is well known for a while. Like, for the most part, the words are just monkey mouth noises that accompany body language and eye motion and all kinds of stuff that tell the real story. Most words are superfluous. And in Rocket League, where you have very limited communication, almost all the dialogue occurs in how you play the game. Like you're basically telling a story in how you conduct yourself within the game. And I find it fascinating. And it took me a long time to figure out how, or at least I think I figured out how the toxicity thing essentially works, but it's a lot to explain. Part of the reason that I'm really interested in the psychological aspect is because I kind of have to be, because I'm an old guy who wasn't actually ever really very good at video games, and the only way that I become competitive is if the game is complicated enough that I can study it and learn things about it that I can exploit that other people aren't aware of, and that tends to offset the difference. And in Rocket League, I basically hit the limit of what I can do with reflexes and precision. At this point, it's just advanced tactics is where I can get the improvement at. And most of that comes in psychological prediction. And as I tried to understand the psychology of why people do what they do and how teams work and stuff, I started realizing that there's like this, I don't want to call it a group of people. I mean, to say toxic is like a really low resolution way of this. And most of the toxicity occurs before somebody starts own goaling. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like hockey. It's like, yeah, that guy hit that other guy, but there was a lot of back and forth before you got to that. And the line where somebody's over the line, it depends on who you're asking. So I've got 5 categories of crypto-toxic maneuvers, which is, it's what it sounds like. It's how to express hostility against your teammates while still trying to win and look good, which doesn't seem to make much sense, but again, it's subconscious. When people are acting out subconscious motives, those motives don't always make sense or even work with each other. It's like think of a not so bright person and then when they get angry, they start doing the stuff they do when they get angry. But if you ask them, are you angry? I'm not angry. Okay, but you're kind of doing, no. Like, when you express your hostility, it always manifests just outside your awareness. So with less sophisticated people, that's pretty obvious. But as people get more sophisticated, they don't get less aggressive or express less aggression. It's just the sophistication with which they manifest their aggression increases, making it, harder for other people to notice. Because your subconscious aggression is always going to be just outside. Like, you can increase your awareness, and it doesn't make you express less aggression. It just pushes your aggression to a new area outside your new awareness. So, okay, the 5 categories of cryptic toxic maneuvers. There's 2 kind of borderline, and kind of depends on the situation, that I wouldn't call them cryptotoxic, but I don't know, some people might. And it's just general low effort, not moving up, not getting back on defense. This thing people do where rather than try to defend, they'll just they're in a good position in case there's a miss and they don't want to give up that good position. So they don't actually go for the block because it'll sacrifice them looking better later. And, it's not, this isn't toxic. It's just kind of like not putting a whole lot of effort in. It's like the NBA guy that doesn't want to really run back, when you're, I think a good analogy for 3v3 would be a Dragon Ball Z analogy. It'd be something like, You got like Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta against 3 other people, and it's like this beam showdown, and they're freaking channeling their beams together to try to overpower the other side. You've seen something like this, kind of like when they were fighting Broly, and I think it was the first one. At any rate, they want to combine their energies for a stronger attack, but they have to balance their energies. Like Goku and Vegeta might have to hold back a little bit so they can balance their energies with Gohan. So, like, they want to say you're starting to lose and you're losing ground and you want to push more in, but you can't because somebody on your team is holding back. And because of everything that's going on and how complicated it is, you can't really tell who's holding back, but somebody is. And the thing is about psychology and subconscious aggression, it might be you who's holding it back and you wouldn't even know. You see kind of how this relates to Rocket League. It's like the 3 of you are trying to maintain this like kind of defensive perimeter so that you don't give up anything easy. And part of maintaining that defensive perimeter is not jumping in the rotation and not doing things to make things harder on your teammates, which is the primary strategy of people I would call toxic. Basically, they've played toxic for so long that they've stopped getting better at the game that we're playing, and they're just getting better at the game of look good and make your teammates look bad. And that sounds really simple, but the complex strategies people develop, and maybe I'll be able to find some of those today, but I get back on topic. So you got the low effort, and if you're in casual, you know what? That's not a problem. Nobody's required to try hard in casual, so I don't really see a problem. Another one that's kind of borderline toxic is the boost suppression. And usually that isn't something people do that isn't a tactic people employ by itself in a toxic way. Like if someone's doing a bunch of other stuff to try to suppress their teammates, boost suppression will often be on the list. But you also play with people that are just freaking aggressive on boost. And I learned a lot I call it matching tone, where I thought that there were a lot more toxic people than there actually were before I started matching tone. Like I'd get in a game with 2 other people and I would be like, oh my God, they're ball chasing and they're not, treating, but then they're like not mad at each other. And when I imitated them and got aggressive and freaking I was doing what I considered ball chasing, they weren't bothered by it in the least because these 2 guys play together all the time. This is how they play with each other. They weren't trying to sabotage each other. They just had this way of playing that was considerably more aggressive. So it was quite a shock to me when I'm like, well, I'll just match their tone and watch them get pissed off. And they're like, hey, nice shot. Oh, close one. And I'm like, so they're not toxic at all. This is just the way they play. They're not trying to suppress anybody. And you learn a lot by, kind of matching other people's tones. And to be honest, a lot of the frustration in the game comes from you having an idea of what an ethical play style is and then somebody not matching your idea. And then you get upset because you are putting more in than they are towards the team. And they're basically, it feels like they're just acting like a parasite on the team, and a lot of times they are. But, shoot, I keep getting off topic. Okay, the first true crypto-toxic category, rotation manipulation. And it comes in a lot of different ways, like falling back slots so that you can have a better opportunity. Like it's your turn up, but you're going to have a really weak position, and there's a good chance it's not going to go well, and you're not going to have another shot at the ball for a while. But, if you just kind of drag your heels a little bit or go pick up that boost you don't really need, the next person in line can get it, and then they can take that bullet, and then you'll be in a better position to make yourself look good. So that's kind of the falling back. And obviously the inverse of that would be the ball chasing, where you're jumping order. And basically any time you're sacrificing the defensive perimeter for personal gain, that's a toxic form of rotation manipulation, at least in my opinion. Oh shoot, I am not watching to see if anybody's watching. I usually stream at like 4 a.m. so that nobody's watching. Okay, cool, nobody's watching. It just, on occasion, I'll have people come in and say something, and then I'll realize that, like, I'm basically ignoring them. So I'm trying not to do that. Yeah, that's basically rotation manipulation. That's fairly straightforward. But sort of under that, but sort of its own thing, is faking teammates. A lot of how we construct our reality, our virtual reality, the map, the game, whatever, where everything's at, where the ball's at, we actually draw on each other for information. Because, like, when you see a guy in your peripheral vision suddenly make a turn in a direction you didn't expect, your whole, like, map changes because you know that he saw something you didn't. And this is, this is subconscious processing, so you're not going to have, like, a whole lot of conscious access to it. But you build your model of where your teammates are at and where the enemy is at, where the ball's at, what momentum things have. And you get a lot of that information from your teammates. So when your teammates go sabo or, turn into someone more interested in sabotaging their teammates than winning the game, that's basically a good way to do it, is just to I'll do something like when they fake for the boost but then go for the ball, or they fake like they're going to go for the ball and they go for the boost, and then what they really want is both of them, but they know you're going to get one of them, so they fake towards the one and then take the other, so you get neither. And it's all about keeping possession of the ball for a lot of this, which I'll get into later. Okay, one of the things is chaser baiting. This is where someone basically decides, they pull like a Kanye West and it's like, excuse me, I'm going to let you finish, but first I'm going to slow dribble this across the front of the goal in a very dangerous way. And if any of my teammates decide that they're not okay with that and try to, like, clear it out off me, I'm going to call them a ball chaser, even though I was really trying to bait them into doing that so I could get upset about it. And now that I'm upset and I'm clearly playing with toxic people, it's okay for me to play toxic. See how the rationalization works? Shot bailing is a bad one too, where when you both are going for a ball, it's like two people in the outfield. Like, one person will, like, call. They're like, okay, well, there's no literal call in Rocket League, but when you aim your car like you fully intend to go for the ball, that's you calling the ball. So toxic teammates will also often align themselves like they're going for the ball and then veer off, which by that time, their teammate has decided, okay, he's got the ball, I'm going to cycle around and get a boost, or I'm going to try to cover this, or, they're working on a contingent strategy based on you actually going after the ball. And when you decide not to, it puts your teammates in a weakened position, which is kind of the point. Because remember, they can want to win the game, they can want to look good, and they can also want to have their teammates be as bad as possible, all at the same time without any internal conflict, because this is subconscious stuff. The faking teammates. So rotation manipulation, faking teammates, avoiding the key. This is more of a warning sign than like an overt measure that people take to sabotage. Like, okay, when someone's gone sabo, basically they've decided that someone on their team is bad, but the way they've played the game doesn't demonstrate that. So a person will take it upon themselves to try to make their teammate look as bad as they should. So when someone's gone sabo, they will instinctively begin defending against the techniques they're using on other people, whether they're fully aware of what they're doing or not. So if you got a guy, you know what? I'm going to come back to that after Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth is the big one. Highly toxic players will develop sophisticated strategies to make their teammates appear bad. When they have possession of the ball, the only way it ends is with them scoring a goal or them turning the ball over to the other team. This is why you see people basically stall out as they're driving the ball up. Like, it just seems like they just stopped. It's because they were hoping for an opportunity that would let them maintain possession, but it didn't appear. And then they just like, oh, fuck it. And they just bail on it. At this level of toxicity, all passes are accidental. Although, as a Sabo realizes they're getting close to being exposed, which means that what's in the subconscious starts coming forward and they get really uncomfortable about it. Shoot. Sorry, saw something and got distracted. Shinies. Well, that's Scorched Earth, which is basically like I am driving the ball up and I'm going to either try to pass it to myself or I'm going to try to shoot. And these are my only options. And it gets really toxic when they realize that they're not going to be able to do what they want to do. So here's where they will pass to the other team. Well, I guess that's another category. Basically passing, clearing, and centering for the other team. The next logical step, if you're not going to be able to score with your possession and you really, really need your teammates to look bad, because, you know, they're clearly bad. I just need to show them how bad they are. You turn your clears into centers. And if you're going to miss as hard as you can. So you clear it for the other team. Also, angle your pinches at your own goal. It's really, really easy to hide your intent in the 50-50s. But if someone keeps like 90-10ing 50-50s at their own goal, that's not accidental. And that's kind of what you have to watch for. If someone is just consistently making low probability errors that just happen to keep screwing over their teammates, like occasionally when I'm on defense and I'm near the wall or whatever, I'll try to clear it out and I fuck it up and I end up, basically centering it for the other team. And when I do that, I feel freaking terrible because I know how much I hate it when that happens to me. So if I screw that up and I end up centering it, I definitely say my bad. I might even say wow if I feel particularly bad about it. But when you have a teammate that does it 5-10 times in a game, when they only had like 12 opportunities and like 10 of them all went in the worst possible way for their teammates, you kind of have to look at like, the average, you look at the consensus of it. I don't call own goaling cryptotoxic because that's pretty obvious. And essentially own goaling is what the Sabo does when they fail to expose how bad their teammates are. And if you call out their maneuvers, they will almost never stay the same. They will get better or they will get worse. It's like they know, but maybe not on a conscious level. And they're going to react to it. They're going to react to it either by trying to better hide what they're doing, or they're just going to escalate. But they will almost never stay the same. But if you reveal them, and that's usually when they leave, like you're like, oh, they screwed up and they raged out and they left. Most of the time when people are leaving, it's because they were trying to sabotage a teammate and they fucked it up and now they look like an idiot, which is like the worst thing in the world for them, which is why when I'm trying to bring toxic players, because you need to make a distinction between the people that are just here to be toxic and parasitize other people. There is that subset of people, but it's very hard to tell the difference between those people and the people who just got stuck in a game with those people and now they're freaking pissed off and they carry that into the next game. And we're all guilty of that. It's like, we're not doing like a freaking Zen cleansing ritual after each game to make sure that none of the bad mojo from the previous game carries over. And it's really hard, if you're really, really annoyed and then you end up in a new game, it's hard to keep that from carrying over. That's why I see toxicity as more of a contagion. I mean, there are a few people that are truly toxic and they just come to this game because they want to upset people. But most of the people that you would consider to be toxic are either just more aggressive than you, because if you're like a passive person who doesn't like go for stuff, everybody's a ball chaser to you. Well, I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to do ranked, just because the toxicity in ranked tends to go a lot higher and I'll probably get better examples. But don't be surprised if I match some of the behaviors, because a lot of times if people are carrying toxicity over from a previous game and they don't really realize they're doing it, if you can match their tone, like if they're I don't know, if they're avoiding the key and then you start avoiding the key, it's kind of like they get the message. Like, without having to like confront them in chat or, you know, make a big thing about it, they'll just kind of get it. And if they start doing the rotation manipulation, and you start doing that, like if you respond in the same way that they're expressing aggression, they can't see it without becoming consciously aware of their own behavior. So it makes them very uncomfortable. And for people who aren't naturally toxic, they will typically start playing cooperatively again, especially if you can float them up a few sweet passes, if you can tell them nice shot. Because like, I start out the game like a freaking Care Bear, because I want all the nice people that came into the game nice to stay nice. And, you know, I'd like to think I'm one of those people. So like that first shot, if your teammate makes a shot or a pass or anything, unless it would be insulting to compliment them, you say nice shot, you say, you know, great pass, you know, because you want to signal to the non-toxic cooperative players that you're one of them. And you can't just signal it, you actually have to act it out. So I guess I was warning you that, like, I will not do scorched earth. It's not something I'm going to do. Passing, clearing, centering for the other team is something I will not do. Own goaling is something I will not do. But in response to the toxic behaviors of the people that I'm going to run into, I will use rotation manipulation and some teammate faking and some avoiding of the key to send a signal back to them, and hopefully, and it's surprisingly effective sometimes, is get people into a cooperative game. Because I think a lot of the people really do want that, and even some of the people that I would have sworn were just unbelievably toxic, you can actually get them into a cooperative game, because most people, even if they seem like toxic, they want to exist in a healthy state. They just don't know how to get there. And maybe it's a little bit arrogant on my part, but, you know, I like to think that I help some people get there. Well, I've been rambling for over 20 minutes, so I should probably actually start playing. I am going to listen to my stream here just a little bit. Toxicity. Essentially, not to explain. Well, I'm glad to hear my fan is being picked up really, really well every time I talk. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't do ranked for a long time just because it was so toxic, and I was trying to get better at the game. And it's especially it's true for everybody, but I think it's especially true for me that I don't learn for shit when I'm frustrated and annoyed. So I just didn't want to go into ranked because it felt like you only get so many hours to play the game, and in those hours you want to get better, and when you're frustrated and annoyed, you don't learn. So probably best not to be in those states. So I didn't do ranked. But then when I basically, I guess you could say, achieved Zen mastery in Rocket League, nobody could get under my skin anymore. I didn't get annoyed. And then as like the ultimate test of that, I suppose I went into ranked, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm not getting annoyed by people here either. That's pretty cool, because this used to really get under my skin. But I think understanding why people behave in toxic ways. Now, I'm not going to be talking a lot because I don't think it'd be fair to my teammates to be too distracted. He didn't go for the clear I was hoping before. Well, that's not a good sign. Double commit 10 seconds into the game. That's okay. I didn't need that boost. I'm sure you needed it. At least I got a bump on him. Slow him down a little bit. I actually haven't seen anything toxic. Like that double commit, that could have just been an accident. Man, that's an actual legitimate pass there. That is a good freaking sign. I was really hoping that I would get like non-toxic people like my first game. Ah, he cut it more than I thought he was gonna. No, 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 no! Pinch it, pinch it! Dude, I got lucky here. Oh. The other thing is extreme ownership. Even if it's not probably your fault, if you're willing to take like ownership for something going sideways, to people, to non-toxic people, that's a way to signal like that you're not a piece of crap. You know? Because pieces of crap don't own their mistakes. That's not a toxic. Okay, one really easy way to tell a toxic maneuver from a non-toxic maneuver, well, I guess you could say one way to be certain that a maneuver is not toxic is if it makes the person who did it look bad. So when somebody screws up and they end up looking bad, you can be certain that was not anything toxic, because the point of a crypto-toxic maneuver is to make other people look bad. So you'll notice I really don't get annoyed when people just screw up. Unless that, you know, they screwed up because they're being selfish. God damn it. I want teammates that can get 10 feet off the ground. I don't know. I guess he got up there. Oh, fudge. Oh, yeah. Ah. The prediction was off. Ah! Blocked my own pass. That was epic. Oh! I think I'm playing poorly. And luckily for me, I think my teammates are also playing poorly, so I don't feel bad. Pump it up for me. Pop it up. Still a fun game. Somebody be there. God damn it. Love defending with no boost. Oh, I missed it. Oh, all you needed to do is touch it a little. Thought I had the demo. Okay. Yeah, well, not sure why they're waiting till now to forfeit. It was pretty much over, like, halfway through. But it's nice having a game, nobody being toxic. Although, toxicity is kind of what I came here for. I have a second viewer, how about that? That'd be hysterical if every time I stream, I get like no sabos, no toxic people. That would be funny. And it's funny how people will. I really upset like the truly toxic people, the people that don't know any other way to be and don't think that they are. It's funny when they come to my YouTube channel to accuse me of being the toxic one. Like you're nothing. I don't give a shit about you. I'm just going to put all the effort into coming to your channel and leaving a message telling you that you're... Somebody came on my freaking... The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. One of the most calming, spiritually uplifting songs ever made. And I did this really soft, slow animation to it that just built over the entire song. And then you look down in the comments, and this guy telling that he clapped me and I raged out in Rocket League. Like, did you look at what the video was? I had somebody do it today, but I really appreciate it. He actually made the effort of going to a Rocket League video to tell me how bad I am at Rocket League, rather than just going to whatever my most recent video was, regardless of whatever it was about. So that was a terrible pass. Do something good. Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, come on! I forced him up! Or down, or whatever. I limited his shot. I forget that, like, basically everybody in solo standard is a smurf. So like 80% of the people. It's mostly because they've been developing... I'm not sure why he wanted to be ahead of me there. I am not. No, these guys don't seem toxic. They just aren't playing anywhere near the level of the other team. Sometimes the vote to forfeit really motivates people. Oh. Ooh. That was actually a really nice pass. Okay. I think that was actually a mistake and not a toxic maneuver. I think he just screwed up. I don't think, even though it was like a beautiful center, I don't think that was him being toxic. Let's get in that guy's way so he doesn't have a good shot. Oh. You gotta be able to watch those beautiful passes not do anything. Oh, I missed! God damn it! Come on, you got it, buddy. You got it. Okay, other buddy, you got it. Yeah, these, after I put up the forfeit vote, like, they seem to have changed a bit, but maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see. Okay, where was the non-kickoff guy? Ah, that was close. That was ugly. It's really hard to recover when your teammates just keep missing. If you end up in a mismatch, it's okay to treat it like a lobby. We're not there yet. See, and that, he had the momentum. He had momentum and boost. It's a good idea to let him take the ball in that situation. Yeah, they're just, like, low effort. They don't seem to want to come back on boost. Or on defense a whole lot. But being bad isn't toxic. But they have gotten a bit more selfish, so I'm going to prioritize boosts. Not sure how I missed that. Wow, 2 games in a row with no toxic people? That's got to be some kind of a record. No, I didn't get Shadow Bane. It's funny that the C word that's in the news right now If you say it on a stream, you get shadow banned. Was doing a grinding meaning stream with Empress Owl, and she dropped the C-bomb. And it's like, where'd it go? I couldn't, like, you couldn't, the only way to find the stream would be to literally go to my channel and look at, like, you know, the main page. Because it wasn't searchable. It wasn't being recommended after any videos. It's like, really, for the C word, and not the see you next Tuesday word. It's the try not to get shadow banned here. Yes. The big news, the reason why I'm not at work. Oh, I didn't even say it. I hit level 1000, got my Rocket Demigod title, but I'm just going to go back to Transcendent Master. That seems to fit me well. Okay, nobody challenged the shot. Don't take advantage. Okay, that seemed a bit aggressive, but I was also being weird, so can't really make a call on that one. Oh, that would have been cool. Don't dribble. Oh. Okay, that was a little scorched earthy. He really didn't have a good approach, but he decided to go anyway when he had a very easy pass. Oh, I was trying to get the angle. But you know what? That works. Ah! Dude, that dude is just sitting in the goal. That is so shitty. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Oh, what a save! Yeah, I think we got Crypto Toxic here. Sabotage and stuff. Basically a scorched earth sabo. Ooh, that would have been sexy. Nice shot. And the funny thing is, even if somebody is being sabo, it's a subconscious thing, they're not aware of it. Like, you can actually draw them into being a cooperative player, like, against their will, because they just don't have it. Like, you can only be so obvious before you become aware that you're basically shitty. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I know I don't have a chance there, but I'm trying to force the weak clear to give my teammates opportunities. Ooh, and the double commit. Okay, don't know how I missed that. That was pretty freaking ugly. It should be right in his sweet spot. Or he stopped. And where is everybody? Oh, he decided to double commit. Well, I've gotten some Sabo activity, so this is actually a good way. Whoops, never mind. I was gonna say, if you hit the ball like that, it usually is a good way of revealing Sabos because they've written off the kickoff. They're already like 2 steps past that. That usually doesn't end up in the other team's goal. Usually just end up with a pissed off Sabo. Starting to feel some boost suppression now. That's a nice shot. Well, if I knew all I had to do was stream to not get, like, terribly toxic people. I think the thing people have most trouble in their head around is, like, well, they either want to win the game or they don't. So if they're sabotaging the game, why would they try to score a goal? And it's like, why would a thief evade surveillance cameras? Because he doesn't want people to know what he's doing. It's like, it's asking, I don't know, asking why the water in the pothole decided to take on the shape of the pothole. It's like it really didn't have a choice. That's what was available. Oh, you got a good center here. In the center? Yes. See, a Sabo would have found a way to try to dribble that up there and it would have just gone ugly. My favorite thing in the world, in Rocket League anyway, is when somebody's total Sabo and there is a level of toxicity where people will not even accept passes from you. They will just let them fly right by. But that would force them to acknowledge that they're being something they don't want to acknowledge they are. So my favorite thing in the game is when someone, I know they don't want to score any goals. And it's not that they don't want to score any goals. They don't want to score any goals with the help of anybody else. If they score a goal, they want to drive it up all the way themselves and nobody else plays a part in it. So when you pass it to them, they will usually try to find a way to like flub it so that they don't have to be drawn into team play. I know it sounds weird that they would try to avoid this, but they absolutely do. So my favorite thing in the world is to set them up a pass so good that they would risk exposing the fact that they're sabotaging their teammates if they don't make the shot. And I love that because I know how angry they are. And I can watch them, like, they'll be just passing in front of the goal and I'll float one right in front of them. And it's like, there's no way you can pretend you didn't see it or that you couldn't get to it. And then to watch them kind of flutter for a second and realize they have to make the shot and then make the shot. And then I know how angry they are. And then they come to my YouTube channel and they leave me comments. Funniest thing about people coming from Rocket League to like trash me on my YouTube, they don't seem to understand how interaction works. Like if you're trying to sell ads, you like to dislike, if you're trying to negotiate with companies to sell your own ads, yeah, your like to dislike ratio matters. But as far as YouTube partner promotion and, you know, suggesting your videos. The algorithm makes no distinction between like and dislike. Hey, why is my screen all weird all of a sudden? Has it been like that the whole time? I would be very upset with myself. Because it certainly wasn't like that earlier. Well, it seems to be fine. Sorry, on my studio interface, it was showing something weird. Well, I'm terrible. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Yeah! And I fucked it. Should have been an opportunity for somebody. I bought the time. That was all I could do. Late on kickoff. Oh, #1 predictor for Toxic Player. It's like not something you'd expect. It's the late I got it on a kickoff. Not just saying I got it, but like after you've already taken off or you're about to take off, and then they say I got it, like once you're pretty much already committed to it. It's kind of like chaser baiting, where they're trying to create a scenario where they can feel outraged, because once they're outraged, it lets them... Shit. They have all this hostility they want to get out, but they can only justify so much of it. But if they can basically flag someone as the villain of their story, they can express a lot more hostility. So it's kind of like the original meaning of scapegoat was the goat that you cast your sins on and sacrifice. that's where scapegoat came from. So sorry about coughing in the mic there. Wow, that went. Oh my god. Somebody else must have gotten a piece of that. Okay, that was... I was mad I took the boost, but it's like, you veered off. All I needed was a little piece of that. I hate it when people go on, yeah. Yeah, I'd say Snapcharp is pretty toxic. It's not like that guy was trying to pass it. He was just trying to slow the drive. But now that I definitely got a Savo, I go for boost at the beginning. He's like low effort till he realized there was nobody behind him. And look at that, he's just waiting. He's just waiting for the rebound. Like, he totally had an obligation here, and he's just like, no, I'm just gonna wait and see how this turns out. So we got one. We got a Sabo. Doesn't seem that bad though. Like, he's not like... It's mostly low effort, boost suppression, and order manipulation. Although, if that was him that just did that, that was a pass for the other team. But I didn't see who did it, so... You see, when you put dash YouTube, you're basically asking for a world of pain when it comes to people being dicks to you. I refer to having YouTube at the end as my weighted training clothes. Oh, by the way, that guy's not going to let us win. So it's more like a lobby now. Where are they? Do they just like go home early? I'm gonna protest by not saying good game, which I normally do. What if I won one game? I don't care. I wanna... There are things I need to work on, things that I want to get better at, but I can only get better in like a cooperative team environment. So that's like, oh, you're trying to go out and make the world a better place by making people less toxic and have everybody... No. Since I'm old and not good at video games and psychological prediction and working within a team and, relying on their younger senses to help fill out my mapping, I need the team to be able to do the cool stuff, which is mostly about pumping up my team. But the coolest stuff that I can do, and the stuff that I really like doing, I can't do it when there's a Sabo on the team. Because they just basically sacrifice the environment you need to make that stuff. We're back to the fucking, the three-way Kamehameha beam. Okay, that window is just being weird. Playing with stuff on the fly here. Oh, hey. A couple people watching. Hello. I'm not actually used to having people watch. Like that, most of the streaming for me is just about... I hate it. Saying what you think and putting it out in the world is freaking terrifying, and the only reason I'm doing it is, well, this is what I do. I used to have a lot of social anxiety, and the way I learned that if I just kept forcing myself into situations where I just had to cope, it got easier and easier. So I just kept looking for more and more situations. Like, used to be eye contact would freaking kill me. Like make I was younger, like make random eye contact with some person. It's like, it feels like a icy claw around your heart and you just kind of like want to escape. So then I would just I would have rules like, okay, you're going out today. You're going to make eye contact with 3 random people and you are not going to look away until they do. I know it's a little creepy, but you got to power through it. And eventually I got to the point where just eye contact didn't bother me anymore. So now I just kept moving Wherever I felt anxious, I would be like, well, that's what I'm doing now. So streaming on YouTube is what I'm doing now. This is not getting easier as fast as I would have hoped. Okay, seriously. I'm just going to leave and re-enter. Like 2,800 people, you wouldn't think it'd take that long. Eh. Yeah, it used to be I didn't do cross-platform because I thought the PlayStation people were too toxic. And to be fair, I wasn't wrong, but I'm just not bothered by it the same anymore. Teammates, your turn. Okay, never mind. Still my turn.
Saved by the keeper.
Okay. Oh no! It's the Sabo, but you know what? Sometimes they change. Sometimes they'll just come into a different game. Maybe he had some kind of beef with the other guy, who knows? Or he's just... Oh, that wasn't him. God damn it. Well, I will wait. I was gonna warn my teammate about my teammate. But I'm not even gonna invest in trying to see if he's gonna be cooperative. Look at what he just did there. He came from... If he gets to the point where he's just doing stuff over and over again, I'm just going to call him every time. Okay. Everybody knows what that word means. I just made it up and started using it, and people instantly know what I'm talking about. And he said, "Well, how could it be Sabo if he's trying to make goals?" It's like, well, no, he wants to sabotage other people. He still wants to be awesome. It's not like nihilism or masochism. It's just this kind of philosophy of giving up on improving yourself and instead adopting the strategy of just trying to knock everybody else down around you because, I don't know, you never grew up and you think things are a zero-sum game. Whoops. I'm taking it. Well, it was actually a decent shot. He didn't try to center it for the other team. Damn, okay, that was pretty cool. Oh, I could have gotten there sooner. I just thought I had the time. But there's never any boost. I'm going out to mid. Got to be somebody there. Okay. Wow.
A lovely header. What a save!
But like I said, the Sabos, it's not that they don't want to score and win and look good. They just adopted a strategy that is basically focused on making other people look bad instead of making yourself look good. But they still want to make themselves look good. It's just they're putting all their effort into trying to make other people look bad.
60 seconds left on the clock.
I wish I'd have seen more of that. That looked pretty badass. Well, how do I not get a pass on that? I must not have made contact. Well, I've been going for an hour.
30 seconds left on the clock.
That sucked, but like I said, it was not. He's not. Oh, he got hit. That's not his fault at all. Although he probably. I don't know. I think the avoiding the key is the best indicator of how aware people are of what they're doing.
Lovely header.
Yes. Oh, I forced the weak clear. You should have scored.
And it's back to the garage.
Okay, one more. And I'm going to call it because, like, I was hoping to get some good examples here, but I really haven't. Also, I've been kind of predicting the general toxicity would drop while we're off, you know, while the world's taking sabbatical. And without, like, all the pressures and inescapable environments. Okay, well, that just kind of fell on my lap. Trying to work with them. Oh, hi. That'll work. Oh, fuck. Okay, where are all the blue people? No, I'm starting to feel like a team vibe here. Like the other people weren't like terrible, except for that one guy. God damn it, it's supposed to put more of a bounce on that, so he had a shitty clear. Well, I can't leave on a win. And I normally leave on wins, but I don't know. I feel like I owe the stream one toxic player. Because I figured that would be the entertainment value. When I start, like, imitating a teammate who's being toxic, and then we watch them start getting all pissed off because things aren't working the way they're supposed to, but they don't understand why they're not. Because as long as I'm only using the same tactics they are, what I'm doing will be invisible to them unless they're ready to recognize what they're doing, which they're usually not. But then they just get increasingly upset and will just kind of like pick random things to be upset about. It's kind of like a redirection like dogs and wolves will do sometimes, where if they're like really, really pissed off, rather the thing that they're pissed off about they won't like address, and they'll like look over to the left and like bite the couch or like bite you know, like nip at something else. Like, so they know that they're attempting to express aggression and they're the ones ending up on the receiving end of it, but they don't understand. They might not even know who's doing it. They'll just get really upset about it. But if I'm in chat calling them out every time that they pass for the other team, yeah, I've kind of held a lightning rod up, but okay, don't challenge. We'll just let him take whatever shot he wants. I am not giving this up. I think I got a good toxic player here. He decided to chase and then not give up. Yeah, going. A lot of times people will pretend to be challenging a shot when they're really just going for a boost, or they have no intention of challenging the shot. They just want to get away from the goal so they don't get posterized. So they'll make like the weakest pretenses at like an attempted challenge. That is not the kind of pass that you do with randos, by the way. A backwards pass right at your own goal? No. Trying to take out the defenders. Freebie. Or not. Yeah. They're just going to keep double committing and not playing any defense. Okay, I'm going to declare this a lobby pretty soon. I'm just going to go for boost off, kickoff and stuff. Still going to try to help, but like, I'm going to have to start returning some of this aggression. No, I don't let sabos out of games. When it's clear that they're here to just basically try to ruin other people's day, I will vote to forfeit when I realize what they're doing and I want to get out of the game. But it's really great as if you can like expose them and get them to bail on a game. Then they're not going to be freaking parasitizing like anybody else for at least 10 minutes. This is so ugly. I think they're probably having their own problem, but theirs isn't as bad as ours. That was pretty ugly. Oh, they're trying to get toxic with me in chat. Oh, they're adorable. And they're both fucking toxic. So, this is a lobby. And I'm not going on that end of the field if they're just going to keep, like, setting up the other team. They decide they want to, like, play cooperatively, and they can bring it down to this end. And I'll play some more. In the meantime, they can just get dunked over. Should I poke the bear? I should poke the bear. Nope, now the salvo is worn out. There's no one left to parasitize. And guess what? You guys are staying here for another minute and 15 seconds. Longer than that if I can score some goals. I think I sense a visit to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm going to poke the bear some more. This is because I know how much it bothers them, because the thing that they're trying to do to other people is happening to them right now, and that's just delicious. I'm just hoping like one of them will just like bail, and then they won't be able to fuck with other people for a while. Oh, I'm sorry. He did not want to take that pass. You're like, fuck. Now that will piss them off. They freaking hate that. You try to be like civil with them when they're angry at you. It's like they just don't know what to do. Poke the bear? Poke the bear. I'm surprised one of them hasn't bailed yet. Oh no, I don't mean to fast forward. I need to hold that guy. I need to hold these toxic people here as long as I can. They're not out there fucking with other people. Nah. And to be honest, these guys weren't actually that bad. They were definitely being parasites, and they're definitely being selfish, but should I finish my unranked, and should I guess I kind of have to. Have I won any? I don't even know if I've won any games. I must have. Look at. This is very different than I expected. I'm not sure what I expected, but it wasn't this. And it's very, very different from doing a grinding meaning stream. Don't recognize any of them. Hopefully, cool people. Okay. Oh, so close. I suppose I shouldn't be trying stuff like that in ranked, but I just can't. I don't know. Just ranked is the same as casual to me. Oh, okay. Guess nobody's interested in passes. Freebie. Guys, I keep leaving you in really strong position, and you're like, hey, what do I do with that? Oh, well, that is a fucking handoff. He, like, didn't even try to divert. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Feels really good when you beat two guys like that and your teammate gets the ball and actually does something with it, because it's so annoying if you beat the, to win those and then just like have a teammate still sitting in the goal like, what? Maybe you could, like, you know, do stuff. Oh boy. Mostly want to just block his good shot. Like, you're still going to get to hit it. Oh my god. It's... Teammates are starting to feel a little superfluous sometimes. I didn't expect him to go low. Okay, yeah, this last game. I'm just not talking. I'm forgetting that I'm streaming, and that's not nice. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining me. This was cool. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I plan on doing this a lot more. And it was one of those, like, if I can just make myself do it once, it'll be easier the next time, you know? But yeah, thanks for joining me. Surprisingly few toxic people, and the few that we had weren't actually that toxic. So I guess my finding toxic people is not so much a self-fulfilling prophecy, because, like, if I was seeing them everywhere, I would have gotten a few. But that is one sign of a toxic person, is that they see toxic people everywhere. So hopefully this is a sign I'm not one of those people. But the thing is, if you are one of those people, you don't know you're one of those people. Okay. Well, thank you all. I'm going to get out of here. Be kind, be nice, say nice shot, say great pass. Don't be Sabo.